Good evening, guys. Tonight you're going to be talking about solving systems of linear equations by substitution. This is my favorite method of solving equations. One, graphing can sometimes be a little bit messy, and sometimes I don't have my graph paper right in front of me, and therefore it's not going to be accurate, so that kind of frustrates me. Two, tables. Tables sometimes will have to go out to 100, 150, and that can be a little bit frustrating. Three, the third method we're going to learn next week, we'll get to. So we're going to skip this one, but it doesn't always work, and we're going to come back to it, and I'll show why it doesn't always work later. So this method, which is technically method number 3, this next one we're going to learn is 4, method 3, is my favorite. Okay, I want you to grab your notes and get ready to go. Go ahead and title this Substitution of Linear Equations. Your essential question is, why would you want to use substitution to solve a system? Why? Why would you? Here's our 3 steps that we're going to go through every time. Every time, here's how the process you're going to go through with substitution. 3 steps. We got this. So, then first example, I want you guys not to write down. I just want you to pay attention. It requires a lot of algebra from you. So just pay attention to what's going on in the steps and understand what's going on in these 3 steps before you start writing it down with me. All right, again, don't write this down. Don't write this down. Step 1, we're going to identify which one is equation 1 and which one is equation 2. Equation 1 and equation 2. Step 1 says get one of those 2 equations into variable equals. Luckily, for equation 1, we already have y equals, and so step 1 is done. Yay, we're happy about that. Step 2, plug in what you know y is into the second equation for that variable. So y is 2x minus 4, so instead of saying y in that second equation, we can say 2x minus 4. Here's what it's going to look like when we substitute that in. Here's what it looks like. Instead of saying y now, because we knew what y was, it's going to say 2x minus 4. Super important that's in parentheses, because we're going to have to, next step, distribute this 2 to both terms inside to get 4x plus 8. All right, this is the process where we're going through PC, SAD, me, and here's why we're going through the process of PC, SAD, me. One, we have variable and we have an equal sign, so we're not working with the order of operations, we're working with solving the equation. All right, so our next step was to combine like terms, got rid of the parentheses, got to combine our like terms. We had 2 x's that we combined to 3x. Okay, now we're going to undo subtraction. There is no subtraction, so we're going to undo addition. And we did addition with taking away 8 from both sides. All right, our next step is that we're going to undo division or multiplication. And negative 3 divided by positive 3 is negative 1. All right, that's the steps 1 through 2. This is step 2. We still have to go through step 3 because we only have one variable. So far, this is what we have. Negative 1 is x, but we don't know what y is. Remember, when you're solving systems, you're looking for a point. So you need both x and y. So now we're going to plug in x into our first equation that we got, variable equals. And when we plug it into our first equation, that y equals 2x minus 4, we're going to have 2 times negative 1 minus 4. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. And now we have the solution to our problem. Here's the break-even point that you would have found on the table. Here's the point at which they would intersect on the graph. I think this is easier myself, and it's okay if you don't yet, but I hope you learn to appreciate it. All right, let's go to some examples to do on our own. Okay, number 1. Step 1, get variable equals. This one you are going to write down, so go ahead and write these 3 with me. We have variable equals. Step 2, plug in one of these 2 into the equation. I'm going to plug in 5x for y over here. 5x for y over here, y equals, because I think it's easier to move a 1 term versus a 2 term. So now I'll have 5x plus 3. This is step 2 equals 5, oh sorry, I have to rewind, erase that. Sorry, 5x equals 2x plus 3. I plugged it in for y right there. Okay, now I'm going to solve for x. I'm going through the PCSAD. No parentheses. Like terms to combine, yes, they're on opposite sides, so I'm going to take away 2x. Going to take away 2x. 5x minus 2x is 3x. So I have 3x equals 3. Undo this multiplication, divide by 3, divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 leaves me with 1x. 3 divided by 3 leaves me with 1. So that's step 2. This is step 2. Step 3, plug in x to the equation you substituted in to solve for y. So I'm going to plug it into y equals 5x because it's easier. That means I'm doing 5 times 1. I'm grabbing 1 from here. I figured out x was 1. And 5 times 1 is 5. So the solution, the point of intersection is x is 1, y is 5. Here's your answer. We're done. All right, let's go to example 2. We want to get our first step. We want one of them to say y or x equals. Done. This is the one that says y equals. So we're going to plug this information here in for y because it's y equals that. Okay, step 2, 4x plus 2 in parentheses 1/2 x minus 5 equals 0 because it has to stay equal to 0 right here. Now we're going to solve for x. Distribute your 2 to each player inside. So 4x plus half of 2 is 1, so 1x minus 2 times 5 is 10 equals 0. All right, combine your like terms right here. 4x plus x is 5x. 5x minus 10 equals 0. Undo the subtraction with addition. Add. 0 and 10 are like terms, so 0 plus 10 is 10. Negative 10 plus 10 is 0. Now we have 5x equals 10. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. X equals 2. Not done yet. Not done. Now we're going to plug in 2. This is step 2, the finish of step 2. Now we're going to plug in x to our equation we substituted, so this equation right here, to solve for y. I'm going to have 1/2 times 2, this is step 3, 1/2 times 2 minus 5. What's half of 2? Half of 2 is 1. And 1 minus 5 is negative 4. So our solution set, our answer, the point of intersection with the line, there's only one point of intersection, is x is, remember we write these as x comma y, x is 2, y is negative 4. And you did it. All right, example 3. I'm going to have to erase my screen, so if you're not ready, go ahead and pause your video and play when you're ready. Example 3, step 1, get variable equals. Done. This one says variable equals. Plug in for that variable it's equal to. So we're plugging in for x, 2 parentheses, 5y plus 3 plus 4y equals negative 1. If you have more than one variable in this part right here, in the start of step 2, you did something wrong, okay? There should only be one variable. My variable for this problem is y. So distribute, we're solving for y. 2 times 5 is 10. So 10 times y plus 2 times 3 is 6 plus 4y equals negative 1. Combine our like terms. So here's a like term, here's a like term. And it's addition, so we can move the order around and it would still be okay. 10 plus 4 is 14, so we have 14y plus 6 equals -1. All right, take away 6, 14y equals -1 minus 6 is -7. Divide by 14, divide by 14. Y equals -7/14, or -1/2. All right, step 3, I'm going to have to use my space over here. Step 3, we're going to this time plug in y. So here's what we have so far. We don't know what x is. We're still trying to figure out what x is, but we do know y is -1/2. Step 3, we're going to plug y in for our first equation that has variable equals. So 5 times y plus 3, so 5 times -1/2 plus 3. Okay, half of 5 is 2.5, and a negative times a positive is a negative, so this is going to say -2.5 plus 3. -2.5 plus 3 is 0.5, so this is going to be 1/2. Our solution for x is 1/2. All right. On your own, go ahead and try solving this system. I made it the easiest system. When you're ready to check your answer, go ahead and play, and good luck. All right, guys. You should have set these two equal to each other since they both say y. That's 1/2 x plus 3 equals -3/4 x minus 2. You should have combined your like terms and got x equals -4. All right. Then you should have plugged in x for one of the two equations. This one it didn't matter because both of them said y equals. When I'm looking at this 4, I think it might be easier to plug into the second equation. So y equals -3/4 times -4 minus 2, and you should have got that y equals 1. And your cherry on top, the last thing that you got to include is that the ordered pair, the answer to this equation is, to this system, not equation, is -4, 1. And you did it. All right. Go ahead and answer your sessional question, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck. Oh, and do your checkpoint.